Welcome to another Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We have an amazing show planned for y'all. We have Iceland versus New Zealand tonight, a classic Poe Ray versus Grand Inquisitor, Whisper, and Death Rain list. So it's going to be some fun, some very outmaneuvery ships, and we'll kind of see how it goes. Joining me on the mic tonight is Charles Dillman. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing well. Got some dinner on the break. I am settled in and ready for an awesome match of ship pairings that we don't see a whole lot of meta-wise. So I'm super excited to see some new stuff.
Yep, and if you missed us earlier, we had a stream earlier with Germany versus Scotland. And later tonight, we have a Lithuania versus Peru match coming in at 400 UTC or 12 a.m. Eastern Time. With that being said, why don't we go ahead and start the stream, bring the players in here. Looks like they're almost done setting up. I'm wagering that the first player is Matthew from New Zealand. And Egill. It will be Egill. There you go. Sorry for butcher. I'm not good with names. I got Charles on here.
It's Egill Bjornsson.
And he is flying the Resistance Poe Ray ship. Charles, if you want to go ahead and run down the Resistance list.
Sure. So Mr. Bjornsson, I love that name. I wanted to name my oldest male child Bjorn, but I've not yet met a female who is behind that choice. Anyway, so he's running, which Poe is that? Is that the Trigger Happy Flyboy Poe. So after you perform an action, you can spend a charge to perform a white action as red. So basically the old school push the limit. Running him with Lone Wolf, so wanting to stay as far away from any other person on his team as possible. The R4 Astromech making all of his 1 and 2 banks and turns and straights lower in difficulty. The Overdrive Thruster, so while performing a red boost, barrel roll, or slam action, you must use a template 1 speed higher if able. And then the Black One title. So after you perform a slam action, you can lose a charge and gain an ion token to remove a disarm token. So that is a very maneuverable Poe. He does have the integrated S-foils as well. Then Ray with heightened perception, so she can shoot at is it a 7? Is that what that?
Yep.
Yeah, you can shoot at a 7. Rose Tico Crew, which I believe... no, Rose Tico Crew is different than Rose in the shuttle. So while you defend or perform an attack, you may spend 1 result to acquire a lock. Corcella, Finn, False Transponder Codes, Stealth Device, and the Millennium Falcon title. So typical Death Ray. Not very much different there. I don't see anything out of the ordinary except for the introduction of False Transponder Codes. 'Cause why not?
Yeah. And they have a 15-point bid with their list as well. So on the other side, we have Matthew from New Zealand, and Zeeland is spelt with an A. And if you live in my town, which is Zeeland spelt with an E, because I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it is. And essentially, looks like they got their dial set, so they should be going live here in just a minute. But essentially, he has Whisper with Fifth Brother and Targeting Computer, Grand Inquisitor with Prockets, and then Death Rain with Trajectory Simulator, Advanced Proton Torpedoes, Ion Missiles, Thermals, Seismic, and Angled Deflector, which you don't see very often, I'll be honest. That's one you definitely do not see very often.
It's an interesting upgrade. I've seen it, but never in play, because I've never been in a position where I wanted to take a defensive action in return for removing a shield. It just never seemed like something I wanted to do. But outside of that, it's still a pretty solid list. That is a chonky Death Rain. So we're going to see how that works out. That chonky Death Rain is still cheaper than Whisper, though. So
That's that's because you're gonna see Whisper do all his funky maneuvers, right?
his or hers?
Is it a her? I don't know.
Let's go to the Google machine.
I have a feeling FFG named that pilot. But I'm actually really excited about this match tonight because it's like you said earlier, it gives you us a chance to see Poe Ray, which I have not seen almost more than one or twice. Usually you don't see even a fat Poe. Like that's an 82 point Poe. He's definitely a big boy there. And it's going to be fun to see how he maneuvers it. Obviously with Lone Wolf, he wants to keep Poe away, probably come in from behind. He can do so many different shenanigans. Try to get everybody to focus in on Ray. That way he can save Poe to come in and snipe out some of these ships. It's nice seeing an Empire list that's not all V1s or all Vader, because sometimes that's what it feels like. So we have the classic intro from Whisper, taking that evade token. I have actually been using Echo more often than I have been using Whisper. And it's just maybe because it's got those Guri style barrel rolls. I know, Charles, have you ever played any of those?
If it's not a scum ship, I can safely say no.
Oh, okay.
Occasionally, I dabble in Republic, and I've played the CIS for a tournament or two just because they have the fire spray available to them. But ultimately, I am almost entirely a scum player.
Well, it sounds like we need to get you into playing something different. If you had to pick another faction,
more.
Well, if you had to pick another faction, what faction would you play?
Republic, probably.
Republic? All right.
And the reason that I like Republic is because they don't have a lot of chunky ships available to them, and the ones that they do have are not generally very positive. So, like, if you look at the Arc or the Lat, they don't speak to maneuverability or use. So it forces me to fly AC ships and fragile ships, which is way outside of my playstyle, as you know, because you've played against me for almost a year now.
Yeah, that is true. I do really like, the Whisper aspect is just kind of some of my favorites right there, right? Oh, we're seeing a zero stop already from Death Rain. Wow.
My only memory of Whisper is in 1.0. I played against a 9 or 10-year-old kid at a regionals tournament just outside Detroit, and he dialed in a turn maneuver and decloaked the wrong direction, and his turn maneuver put him on a rock. So untokened Whisper at range 1 of a target lock focused Fenrau, and Whisper did not fare too well in that exchange.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can't even think. If you think about it, Whisper barrel rolling onto a rock. Can you even do that? Is that even legal to do?
She decloaked, and then when they revealed her maneuver, it was a 2 hard.
Oh,
and
okay.
had he decloaked the other way, his 2 hard would have cleared. But not paying attention, he decloaked the wrong direction, and then the 2 hard put him right on a rock.
I gotcha.
And, it was a feel bad moment because I was excited because I ghosted Whisper. And that meant a lot back at 1.0 because Whisper was the bane of my existence for a while. Her and Suntir fell on any list together. And then you look across the table and there's a 9-year-old child with his big boy face on because he's not supposed to cry when he plays with the big kids. And so you want to be excited that you're winning, but you immediately feel terrible that you're winning.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, we I don't know. Matt plays a lot of Whisper, and then like I said, we kind of switched to Echo for the points value after they upped the points of Fifth Brother. It kind of made that Grand Inquisitor, Vader, Whisper list a lot harder to run. But you put Echo in there, yeah, you're losing a little bit But really, Echo is just as aggressive, or can be, as Whisper, and it allows you to have those weird barrel roll or decloak maneuvers. I just call them barrel rolls, but it allows you to have the weird ones, and when they do that's the best part about this, is because when they do those, they're not always as expected. And you should know, I mean, I like to run those HMPs for the exact same reason. And it's kind of the same way as when you run a Starship or Star Viper, they have those weird bank maneuver, or bank maneuvers that you can do with advanced sensors. So actually, I'd be curious, Charles, if you want to look it up. What is Guri versus Whisper, like, cost-wise?
Yeah, I can check that out.
And you have to put the advanced sensors on for it to
I was going to say,
be
that was
somewhat like it.
going to be my next question is, do we build each one of them out?
Well, no, I think let's look at the base
not
cost
fully.
first.
Yeah, not fully, but at least build them out for base usage. But give me just a moment, and I will build that up.
So we got Ray coming in here around the back of those rocks. Ray's going to come in and say, hey, I want to try and eat one of you guys. Won't be super good if she doesn't be careful. In fairness, though, Death Rain only has the seismics and the thermal, so at least it's not a proxy. So you don't have to worry about somebody throwing dropping a proxy mine in front of you, and it's not a proton bomb where you could throw a bunch of proton bombs directly at her, and then there's crits that come along with that.
Sure. So just to answer your question, they're pretty comparable. Both i5s. Both obviously very solid movement dials. The only thing that Guri has that Whisper doesn't is a one straight forward, and then Guri has the sloops, and Whisper has K turns. So they both have a pretty decent turnaround setup, but Guri with that one straight has a little more availability for maneuvers. Guri is at 64 points static, just no upgrades, no nothing. Whisper is at 60. So as far as like a 1v1, I would say that they're pretty in each other's weight class. What would you do to build out Whisper? If you got to build Whisper how you wanted, would you stick with the build that's here, or what would you do?
The only different, I don't, the targeting computer, I don't usually put on them. I do put, you always put Fifth Brother. That is almost always a must. And I almost usually do passive sensors instead of the targeting computer, right? Because your force mod, your passive sensors give you the lock, and then you're able to use your evade if you need it, if you haven't outmaneuvered the other team. So
would you put anything in your Talon or modification slot?
I personally do not put anything in the modification slot, but that's just me. It's an Empire ace. You should not be getting shot at that often. And if you are, you should be hoping that the rest of your ships are taking all the other ships out, if it's bait. I do like Predator on there, but again, now you're talking, do you really want that points? If you were to run something that had like kind of a swarmish feel to it, I would be putting discipline.
Just 1v1. If you're building her exactly how you want to build her,
then I would not be putting discipline in any way, shape, or form. Because discipline is ideal if everybody else is going to be around. But otherwise, sure. I prefer the Predator personally, or what's the? Now I can't remember the name of
Crack shot.
No, marksmanship. I like marksmanship as well.
Okay. So some cheapo things. The reason that I asked that is with Fifth Brother, passive sensors and marksmanship, you are at 77 points. With Guri, at minimum, you want Virago, advanced sensors, and shield upgrade. those are some pretty expensive upgrades. I would prefer to have outmaneuver on her. But in a 1v1 against Whisper, I'm not counting on being able to grab the outmaneuver so I can save myself points. But Guri clocks in at 89 points, and Whisper clocks in at 77. So if I were to drop Virago, maybe? Yeah,
Then
if I
you
were to
would.
drop Virago and just put the shield upgrade, that's 77 to 82. That's a 5-point spread. I'd be okay with that.
See, and I think the other thing too is if you dump Whisper and go down to Echo, you lose the initiative down to 5, but you gain 9 points. So then if I'm going to do that, then I can put the outmaneuver on Echo and feel a little bit more comfortable with it.
Yeah, but to be fair, if you're gonna drop down to Echo, then instead of Guri, and people are gonna disagree with me, and it's fine. I'm okay with people disagreeing with me. But I would probably instead I'd swap Guri out for an outmaneuver Dalen Oberos.
Yep, and you could do that too.
Keep the Virago title, get rid of advanced sensors because he stays stressed. And run, so you'd be looking at 66 on Echo versus 67 if I ran outmaneuver and Virago and just got rid of the shield upgrade. So you're looking at 4 hull, 2 shield, and 3 hull, 2 shield. Dalen's got 3 attack and 3 green. Echo has 3 attack and 2 green.
Yep.
Well,
Well, it
but
looks like
if
we're
you're,
gonna.
if you're, oh, we're getting shots. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting shots, man. Got to go back. We got Poe. Poe took that
Net
target
focus.
lock and the focus. So 3 hits going into Grand Inquisitor. Probably
5
not going to do
dice.
too much. Does have an evade. Yep. All you got to do is
Oh,
spend that evade.
yep.
No damage. Now we got Ray's shot. Oh, that's right. I forgot he's not first player. So Grand Inquisitor. Probably spends a force. Do you spend a force? Yeah, you might as well. 2 hits going into Ray. You got the Finn shenanigans. Yep. Oh, he put force tokens on the side of the Ray. There you go. You spend the. Where's my Finn shenanigans? Does Finn only work on attack? Is that how that is?
Finn Crew?
Yeah.
Or Finn Gunner, as it were?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Let me
Welcome,
down and
Nickel
read
City.
really
Thanks for joining us.
While you defend or perform a primary attack, if the enemy ship is in your primary arc, you can add a blank result to your roll.
All right.
So it's only if they're in your front arc, but it is while you attack or defend.
That's what I thought.
Hey, Catherine. Hey, Nickel City. Thanks you guys so much for joining.
Oh, that's definitely not as good of a roll. 1 hit. Change the 1.
Well, I
The force.
can bet you that Catherine's automatically pulling for New Zealand in this one. Call it a hunch.
Yeah. Is she from New Zealand?
No, she's an Empire sympathizer.
Ah, gotcha. And 2 natties. No damage. We did get to see Ray use both the force, though. You know, it'd be really cool if you could put a hate upgrade on her. So if somebody shoots at her, she regen your force. Would be amazing. Thank you to all the new subs. Thank you to Nickel City as well for rating our sharing. It will be fun. You guys have joined us right at the beginning, so.
Hello there.
Are you doing the
Lots
Obi-Wan
of hello
thing?
there emojis in the chat. Well, yeah,
Yep.
they're doing the hello there, Obi-Wan in the chat. General Kenobi.
There's another one. Oh, yep, we hit 142 followers this week. Thank you all for following us. Our goal is to hit 200. I would like to hit 200 by the end of the month. Be nice. If you want, you can do. Oh heck, I'll just do it for everybody. We just do !social. That gives you all our social media links. That gives you our YouTube channel, Facebook, obviously Twitch, which is dumb. I don't know why I have that in there, as well as our Discord and our podcast link. And I believe by now our podcast should be up on all the different streaming services. I'll have to double check that tonight. So now we got all the shots that came in. We've seen Poe use his Poe-ness. You believe Poe pieces out? You think Poe pieces out, or do you think Poe just says, "Screw it, I'm coming in, see how much I could take off the board"? He still has that target lock on Grand Inquisitor, so.
He is the trigger happy flyboy, so he probably comes in for shots. I would, personally. Oh, Imperial Loyalist is the preferred terminology. I only care about the preferred terminology of the people that are paying us the most as a scum player, so sympathizer seems accurate until I see my credits.
If you all would like to check, we do have credits. I had to close the betting early, but if you do exclamation credits, that tells you how many credits there is. I guess we could always open it back up, but what does it matter? Nah, we're going to keep it closed. It'll make you come back either tomorrow at 1900 or it'll make you come back tonight at midnight. One of the two.
15.
So if you're Ray, do you just, because you know, so you're going to have to come in a little bit faster with Ray, because if you're going to launch the bomb, right? Are you going to launch your thermals? Or are you going to launch a seismic? Because if you launch the seismic, you're going to hit your seismic. Own. Yeah.
Well, no, at that angle, he's not going to be range 1 of anything. So launching a seismic does nothing. If you're going to launch, you'll launch thermals. But at that angle, I don't expect that Ray will be there long enough to do anything.
Unless you go in for the block and just eat one of the bombs yourself. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being crazy, crazy player here.
Thank you, PBR Panda, for the follow. Wonder if that's PBR like Pabst Blue Ribbon or PBR like professional bull riding.
I'm gonna guess it's the beer. I could be wrong. If you're in the chat still, tell us if it's for PBR or bull riding.
A buddy of mine used to have a tagline for PBR. It was so assy, it's classy, because it's probably the worst beer I've ever drank, other than like Keystone or Ice House.
It is, and it's funny. I'm from Ohio, right? And so when we were younger, I used to be part of. My buddy was part of the 4-H group, so I used to tag along all the time because there was always alcohol there, and I hate beer. Just if anybody ever listens to the stream, I hate beer. I don't drink it. Don't like beer at all. Doesn't matter how fancy it is or what it is. I just don't like beer. Give me some whiskey. I'll tell you what. I'll drink that whiskey all day long, unless it's like cheap whiskey. Then I got to mix it. But I love me some whiskey. But I used to hang out, and in Ohio, PBR wasn't like a thing like growing up. Like I never saw PBR. It was always like Natty Ice or we had but they always had Bud Light or Budweiser. That was always the thing that, the people I hung out with drank. Of course I didn't, because I was like, I'm not going to drink any of this stuff. I had a beer once, I think when I was like 15. I was like, I don't know how anybody drinks this stuff. It's like piss water. It's like, why would anybody want this?
The most desperate that I've ever been has been Milwaukee's Best, or Hams. Hams is the
worst.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, and the other thing, like it's funny because beer was never a thing. I mean, my parents don't drink, so there was never beer in the house. But like I just did not like beer, even though everybody's like, "Oh, you'll get used to the taste." It's like, no.
Do you want to, though? Like, there are some beers that I would say yes. Like there are some beers that I would say yes. Like I don't like lagers or IPAs. I can't stand either one of them. Oh, Pabst Blue Ribbon is correct. PBR Panda says. But for me personally, I will take a good Irish red. I like Irish red. So like Killian's or what are some other good reds? I really like Killian's. I drink the crap out of some Killian's.
Yeah, see, and I'm on the opposite pants. Don't give me any of that swill. You can give me a nice Irish whiskey, you know. I don't want none of that Jameson. I'll drink Jameson. If you're gonna get Jameson Black is really good. Give me Jameson Black. Give me one whiskey stone. I'll drink that.
Any Jameson is good. I disagree with you about Jameson. I will drink Jameson just about over any other whiskey.
Well, I love too, but
there are some scotches that I like better. Oh, Raven Cat, I will agree with you there. I will definitely agree with you. Raven Cat says that she'll see our whiskey and raise us a high quality rum.
yeah, I have to take my stomach medication first. All that sugar in there, I'll tell you what. I used to drink rum. I do like rum. I really do like rum. And you could sit down and put any nice bottle in front of me and I'll drink rum. But
we have driven, my wife and I have driven over 8 hours one way to get some good rum. There is a rum distillery in Key West, and the state of Florida, it is illegal to send alcohol. So they can't ship it. So you have to drive down and buy it. So we drive down once every 6 months or so.
So we are going to see a thermal, but we're not going to see it launched, at least not the first one.
Seems like an odd place to drop a thermal. Is he counting on a K-turn?
It's because if Death Rain gets free action. You drop crap, you get free actions.
I'll burn his false transponder codes.
Yep. Yes, which is, that's exactly what I would want to do is let's get rid of that false transponder codes. Welcome, Team Japan. Japan has some good whiskey, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I like sake.
You're drinking a Heineken. I hate this time delay thing. This time delay thing drives me nuts.
Well, my question is, Apostas, where are you from? Because are you from a place where they have good Heineken, or are you from the United States where we have awful Heineken?
All right, so we see Death Rain going in for the block. Already has the focus. You take another target lock? Nope, you take a reinforced token. Just in case Ray goes slow enough that can hit, which is probably not going to happen. That Grand Inquisitor going to the right. We know it ain't going to make it pass. So Apostas, yes. Yeah. Yeah, he does the lock and focus, and he could technically do a stop. But I think he didn't do a stop at that turn, but yes, you technically could have done that. If you had Dooku, then you just be like, oh, I'm going to Dooku that to nothing. But that's right, that's Separatist. That's the better faction.
Separatist is terrible.
Yep, there you go. We got Whisper coming in. Already got his evade. Do we get a target lock? Yep. Taking that target lock. See, this is where I like advanced sensors better. Or passive sensors better, sorry. Because then that gives me the option to whether I could take it or not take it. Did we get a bump? Can you look around the thing and see if we got a bump? I think we did.
It's definitely a bump. Yeah, two bank right touching Death Rain. So no actions for Ray, but I have a feeling that V1 might pop.
That depends.
Well,
it's got pose target lock, not Ray's.
Ray doesn't need a target lock. Ray has whatever she rolls, she can add a blank. And then she can spend a force to change a blank to an evade or a hit because they're in the front. And she gets a target lock after she shoots. So she just doesn't care. And next turn, she executes a Segner's loop so that she gets that shot. Hey, fun walk. Thanks for raiding. Oh, Doers is amazing.
Yeah, I like Dewar's Scotch a lot. If I have a base, like a base go-to, it's Dewar's. I like how Poe's still coming in real slow. Whisper don't care. It's going to be through a rock. They screw it. What do we care? Obviously, first bomb hits nobody. Second bomb, I'm guessing, hits Death Rain too. Yep.
So, Apostas, just so you know, the reason I ask about American Heineken versus other Heineken, one year my company sent me to Amsterdam, and the Heineken here in the States is not the strongest. So I started ordering Heinekens in Amsterdam like I was in the United States, and very quickly realized that there is a much higher alcohol content in Europe than there is here.
Yes, PBR Panda, you're handled. Spawned everything. All right, so we got Poe. Poe goes first. Do we see? Yep, there. Okay, there we go. So do you go into the Grand Inquisitor, or do you try to strip Echo or Whisper the focus?
Nah, you go into the Inquisitor. It's unobstructed.
All right.
3 hits. 3 hits. That's the way to go. Again, I will repeat, the most solid strategy in X-Wing is roll natties.
Oh, Inquisitor. You got your evade, though. One shield.
So, speaking of whiskey, Chris, John, my wife is in Michigan for the next couple of weeks, and John has a bottle of that, the Dragon's Milk bourbon from the Knickerbocker, and my wife is going to be bringing that home. I'm so unbelievably excited for that.
What is it? Hold on a second. I want to see the shot. So here goes Grand Inquisitor into Ray. Oh, do you spend both your force? I don't know. I don't know if I chance that.
Not with a shot coming back. You don't leave yourself unmodified. Thank you for the follow, Green Leader. We appreciate it very much. Raven Cat, that sounds amazing. Get your own bottle of Maker's Mark.
Yeah, you know what's an underrated whiskey? Widow Jane. Widow Jane.
Really?
If you've never had Widow Jane, if you like bourbon, it's a bourbon though. It's definitely different. But if you've never had Widow Jane, it's like, I don't know, 56, 60 bucks. Something like that. All right, so she does spend the force. Ray gets the one evade. Takes the target lock. And that's now 2 shields down on Ray.
We're going to see a couple more.
Everybody target locking that. Grand Inquisitor. All right, is that a hit?
2 hits and an eye. Spending the force to make it 3. Oh, spending the force for a crit. So 2 hits and a crit into Ray. Yep.
Oh.
Ray got an eye. Is she leaving it blank?
I don't know if she has any force. Does she have force? I don't know if she has force.
She should.
And are you sure that's a hit? That's a third hit and not an eyeball?
The chat says it's a hit.
Okay.
Yeah, Nano. And Dragon's Milk used to be one of my favorite beers. Unfortunately, I don't really do beer anymore as much as I love it, just because I had a surgery and I can no longer do like carbonated beverages, so beer is out. But the bourbon barrels that they use to age the Dragon's Milk in, they started manufacturing that bourbon, so you can buy the bourbon as well.
Yeah, it's called
Radler.
Beer Barrel Bourbon, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
Radler beer lemon soda mix in. That sounds
All
like it
right.
might be interesting.
Ray coming back. Spend your target lock, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Got 2 hits. Inquisitor, he doesn't look good for you. Oh no! Oh no! No, that's not good. Oh, well, Grand Inquisitor, you're gonna probably live to another day unless you blank out. 1 evade, though. That's it. So it takes 1. Takes 1. 1 more half point on, or half points on Grand Inquisitor. Iceland is now up 29-0. Let's see if Death Rain has Poe and Arc. Does. Unobstructed, too.
I might have spent one of Ray's force there to shoot first.
Has the focus. 2 hits. Oh, blank out by Poe. Holy poopers. Does he get rerolls? I don't know if he gets rerolls.
I don't think so.
Yep,
Oh,
he does.
one
But it
into a blank.
didn't do anything.
Blank into a blank.
Oh, man. 2 shields down on Poe.
That
That's
feels
pretty
bad.
good. Because he's got that lone wolf. That's why I thought that. So we have a fuel leak on Ray. Probably wants to fix that. I would not. Don't know if I'd want to keep. And I guess it's just 1 extra damage, and it's not as bad as like a hull breach. But yeah, it can. Yeah, it can be extremely dangerous. Yeah. So if you never had Widow Jane though, Widow Jane is definitely the bourbon to try. And I never had it until recently. Usually my go-to is Doers, or I prefer um to have Bullet Rye. That is also a favorite of mine. So Charles, do you think you see Pogo still go in there? I mean, Poe only really has to worry about Death Rain, and Death Rain's kind of tied up by Ray and that rock or that debris there. It still can go through the debris, and it's not the end of the world. What do you think?
Oh, I honestly don't know. He's a little too close to that rock for my my taste. But
He's gonna move first. Ooh, do you know what? Does he have a barrel roll on him?
yeah, I think so.
Yes, I think he does. I gotta look.
And he can do it. He could spend a charge to do it at a 2 as well.
So he's got a barrel roll, and so he could drop a bomb or launch a bomb, do his action.
Oh, Poe. Not. I thought you were talking about Poe. I apologize.
No, I'm talking about Death Rain. Yep, there you go. See, Iceland saying, "Hey, I better figure out what blue maneuvers that guy's got, because being able to do that barrel roll is pretty awesome." Too bad you couldn't put like a pre-maneuver thing on Poe. Wouldn't that be fun? That'd be kind of fun. Like allow him to have a pseudo cloaking device.
Something
You're like,
like
oh,
that. Yeah, that'd be really good.
give me a pre-position.
So to
I mean, for
drive
as
us
many
away
damn
from
points as you have it to have them at,
yeah,
you
fair
know.
enough. Drive away from the alcohol discussion a little bit. I just found out that I don't know. You probably didn't play it, but I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed Valhalla game. And within that game, there is a mini game called Orlog, which is a dice-based game that's got some pretty deep rules and a lot of different things that you can do. Apparently, a small board game company got licensing from Ubisoft to manufacture it, and they are manufacturing it on Kickstarter. So I think yesterday it went live, and it was fully funded in less than an hour.
Well, that's good. You almost have to think that would happen because, I mean, in fairness, that's a pretty that's a pretty popular game, that Assassin's Creed there, you know.
Oh yeah. So they had a pledge goal of $59,816. So far, they have had $451,220 pledged of that $56,000 goal.
And make sure you take that link, throw that in the chat too. You got to wait 90 seconds though from the right now, but then you can throw it in the chat.
What's that for Orlog?
Yeah.
Done and done.
I will tell you that they kind of did the same thing. Like there's a Witcher, somebody licensed a Witcher board
Yeah.
game too. I did not buy it, I'll be honest, but my son and I were very tempted to do that. So I have a question. I guess I've never thought about this. If you drop thermals with Death Rain, you get to do your action. Do you have to drop both of them, or can you can you drop one, barrel roll to the left, right? Then launch another one to do a different action. I guess you wouldn't get your other action though because you're stressed. You couldn't do that. But you could launch the other one. So you could almost launch them at two different positions, correct? Like logically that makes sense.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely. So, if you choose to drop them, they both have to. So the problem is if you choose to drop, you can only really launch one, or you're launching them on top of each other because there is no one less or one more. For well, there is no, there is not. But the trajectory similar makes them both go out at 5. But you could, in theory, drop one, take your focus, launch one, then barrel roll for the stress, dial in a blue maneuver, do your blue maneuver, take a target lock if you wanted to.
And I only say that because I'm, and again, they're taking a while with their dials, so I don't know what they're thinking. But I'm wondering if that's the same mentality, right? Because if it were me, and you're right, maybe you take your target lock first. That's probably what you do, because if you take your target lock first, you're then gonna be able to get it on Poe. You would be able to hope Poe doesn't go to the right, which Poe might, but you could always then do your turnaround maneuver, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Apostas, I definitely can appreciate the idea of a non-alcoholic beer, but I don't see the point. Uh, that's like smoking a light cigarette. If I'm going to do something that's bad for me, in theory, I'm going to do it at full strength. There is no reason to drink light or smoke light cigarettes or drink zero alcohol beer. I'd rather just die at full speed.
Yeah, some people like the taste. I have not personally liked the taste of non-alcoholic beer either. So, but I've only had one of them.
My grandfather used to drink O'Doul's. Blech.
Hey, I mean, whatever floats people's boats. I have no qualms. Does not matter.
Yeah.
So you,
Again, my vomit noises are my own personal taste. There is no bad beer. There's no bad alcohol, unless of course your alcohol choice is Popov. At which point we're going to have questions about your life choices.
yeah, and I don't want to tell you my story about that. So think of so let's go back. We're not going to talk that. We're not going to go down that road.
No $2 bottles of vodka for you.
Well, they're more than that, but yes, I have a college experience around that. Yep. Okay. So good. That's what I thought. So if and maybe this is what you do. You take and you launch a seismic, do your barrel roll, or no, drop your thermal, take your target
drop the thermal,
lock.
take a focus or target lock, then launch your
Yep.
launch
Is
that
it a
seismic.
Yep. Okay. So that's what I would do. I would take a target lock first, drop my other bomb, and then do my barrel roll and go one forward. Oh, he's going to do the barrel roll first. All right.
I'd go back. I'd do exactly what he did because you want to try and block that sloop from Ray. Oh, he's definitely blocking that sloop from. Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go. Yep, take your evade. So we do only get one. Yep, do the one forward, do the bump maneuver. Grand Inquisitor doing a 4K. Hoping to not getting Ray's arc. Oh, Whisper just going in
He
and
has
bumping.
definitely
All right.
blocked the sloop in one direction, but if Ray went the other direction, maybe she gets away with it. Nope, nope, just the 4.
Yep, and Whisper has the target lock still on her, so we'll see what Ray does. Oh, yep, Ray's or Poe Ray. Good God.
I definitely can appreciate that, Apostas. I don't mind the taste of beer, but I don't enjoy the taste of beer to do it without the alcohol effect, personally. Now, I will say, last night I went to a restaurant and had a whiskey smash, which is bourbon with simple syrup, lemon juice, and mint, with a twist of lemon rind in it, so that when you muddle it, you break up the mint leaves and the lemon rind, so you get a lot of that oil. It does help mellow the. It didn't hurt anything that I was drinking Bullet, but it was a really, really well tasted drink. I enjoyed it enough that I will probably make another one when this stream is over.
There you go. There's Poe saying, hey, I'm going to try to get as far away as I can.
Yeah, but the problem is he's going to eat something.
It is. Yep, you're right.
Yep, he's taking that big rock, which is right next to Poe.
You don't get shield back. No more shields. Shields down. Not quite half points yet, though. So. All right, Grand Inquisitor going into Ray. Looks like it's range 1. No mods, but 1 force. Rolls 1 hit. Spends his force for 2. Oof. Ray rolls a blank. Takes 1 more. Why'd he take 2? Oh, it was 2 hits. Oh, man. That's half points on Ray. Whisper going back in. Whisper's got that target lock. Just re-rolls the 1. Still gets an eyeball. Spends your force for a crit. Hit, crit, crit. Oh, man, Ray.
Oh, it looks like hit, crit.
All right, so Ray shakes 1 down. Takes a hit and a crit. Yes, I'm assuming. And he's going to take 1 more for hull damage.
So, Pastas, I don't know how much you know about our stream, but Chris is from Zeeland. I'm originally from Grand Rapids, affectionately the Beer City, USA.
That's a direct hit. Oh, man, put the Fs in the chat for Ray. Oh. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
But she's alive with 1 health.
Oh, man. Ray, you better come back. Well, spend that target lock at least.
So hit, crit.
Yep. Whisper gets 2 dice. Oh, no.
Scott evades.
Why does Whisper have 2 evades? Is that
Maybe, I think it's a mistake.
Okay. Okay, because as I say, I don't think she had 2 evades, but
What's that crit? Or no, is that just shields on her?
just shields. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Skywards 9,
No,
for follow.
they did have 2 evades.
Oh, she might have gotten one for decloaking and then taken the action for one as well.
Gotcha. But I thought she bumped. That's why. Now I'm confused. I didn't think she could bank tokens like that.
Let's see.
And nobody's got coordinate
When you
functions.
nope, when you perform an attack that hits, you gain an evade token.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So she got one from decloaking, and then when she smacked Ray upside of her head, she got another one.
Yep. Hey, look at me being smart streamer.
I just looked at the cards. It's Empire. I don't run it, but it's good to know.
Yep. S in the chat. There you go. Ray, what are you gonna do now, Ray? Really, Ray, you just do you just go towards the edge of the board? You know you're gonna get a whispered decloak. At least you get to shoot.
She's only got one stress. I think we see a sloop here.
Yeah, do the Coronella, do the sloop for her millennial cycle.
Her millennial cycle.
I haven't even been drinking. I swear. I swear I've not been drinking.
Good day so far, buddy.
Yeah, I have not been drinking at all. Actually, I literally have a Diet Coke in front of me.
That sounds terrible.
I don't drink regular soda because of the calories. I have drank Diet Pop for a long time. Yeah, well, that's a different issue.
Yeah. I have not had a carbonated beverage since June 13th of last year.
I probably don't need them, in fairness. Is that a penguin? Is that a penguin with a gun? That's a penguin with a gun.
It is, and it says, yeah.
Thank you, Shipping Stone, for the follow. All right, so what are we going to see here? I think you're right. I think you almost have to do some sort of a sloop, right? You know?
Yeah.
The sad thing is Ray has to score points here. She just has to. Yep, and there you go. Going in for that block there. Because it's awful without having that.
I will say this: Matt from New Zealand is flying this Empire squad expertly. So unless Ray sloops left, I would have slooped right. But if Ray sloops left and goes with that IQ 1000 play, maybe she pulls it out. Nope. She went right, which is what I said I would have done. So
she will still get a shot, but it's going to take two. Then they got to chase Poe down. And I will say that's the only issue I see with Ray. You invest so many points. Ray is not as durable as like a Boba Fett or a Zam, you know? Which is just sad. You'd think she would be. She's better than
No, Miss Ray. I expect you to die.
Yep. There's Poe saying, "All right, I'm gonna keep repositioning myself." Make everyone chase him. We'll see. Does Ray live? The probability. What were we told? Apostas. Could you tell me before the probability was like 62,000 or something like that?
That was last game of an X-wing tabling 5 Inquisitors.
Yep. Don't spend the Force. You're already taking hit crit.
You're already dead. I would have spent a Force to shoot at 7, but that's me.
But does it matter? Now you got the Force for mods. Because you're shooting out your back. You don't get the Force.
No, but you could have ghosted the Inquisitor. It's still range 1 out the back. You can still use the Force, just not to change a blank.
Yeah, but I don't think Finn works out the back, does it? Does he? One of them doesn't.
Oh, Finn is out the front, and Ray's ability is out the front. But when you roll like that, doesn't really matter. Oh, that was Egill. No. Let's do it. Bike out. Oh, that feels bad. So 2 get through.
I think that still takes Grand Inquisitor off the
Yep.
board. Which at
But
this point, you're probably not too sad.
no, but had you spent those points, or had you spent the force to shoot first, you might have had the opportunity to drop the Inquisitor before he had a chance to shoot.
That is true.
So Whisper still might kill you, but
So what is the probability now that Poe can do enough damage? I mean, because really, if you take you get Whisper's not at half, but Whisper's pretty close. And Whisper's 75 points. That puts him in the lead if Poe doesn't go to half. So can Poe 67,020? There you go. See?
6,720 to 1.
Yeah. So now the question becomes: can Poe ace that Inquisitor off the, or not the Inquisitor, the Whisper off the board? That's a big one, right?
Hmm.
Yep, because they're still questioning whether Poe. Yep, and he still has a lock. No, he doesn't. All right. Guess he doesn't have a lock. Thought he had a lock on him, but if he doesn't have a lock, it's a little bit harder. But you can still do it, I think, because you can come in, wait for your reposition, and then hope that Death Rain can't get turned around fast enough to get you. Because once Death Rain gets that lock, I'll tell you what, you're getting some torpedoes of some sort coming after you. There you go. Anara says that they're going to be 103 to 132 in favor of Iceland.
I am going to place a bet right now. We'll call it my Madden bet, but I believe that the team with the most points is going to win.
Oh, so you want to hear another, while we're waiting, you want to hear another little whiskey fact?
Sure.
So there's reasons certain types of whiskeys taste better, and it's not always just the age or anything like that. There is some of it is because of the fact that of the type of water that is used, right? So down
Interesting.
south, you have those mountain water, different things like that. Your water tastes different than Michigan's water. Even though Michigan has all these specific distilleries, they're not always as good as if you just live down south and get your mountain water.
To be fair, if I'm buying alcohol from the South, I'm not buying whiskey. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to buy Shine.
You, no, thank you.
You can ooh all you want, but you get a good old boy Shine from a mountain still. That'll put some hair on your chest and taste like you're drinking water. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, thank you. I don't need any more hair than I have.
I'm probably in the same boat, but Shine is good for you. Thank you for the follow, Psionic Rain and Asir69.
Yep. And if you want to use your Amazon subscription, I'll go ahead and throw the link from Twitch up in the chat. You can use your Amazon subscription to sponsor the show as well.
Give us those Bezos bucks.
Yep, spend them. He don't need them. Trust me. That dude don't need any more money. He has a
They're
ship
like Mon Calamari credits. Yeah, they're like Mon Calamari credits. They're not good anywhere except here, so feel free to spend them here.
Do you think we see a decloak from Whisper, or do you just stay there? See, this is where I like Echo better, right? I just like my Echo better because I would be able to bank and decloak a different way, and it would just be amazing. Yep. So there's Whisper. She's gonna stay back, be more cagey, force Poe to come to her. Is that an ion token or disarm token?
Poe can take an ion to get rid of a disarm.
No,
But that
that's a disarm token on Death Rain. Okay.
on Death Rain, okay.
Yep. There you see the ever-loving boost target lock. You don't see those very often on those big ships, but I'll tell you what, they can be dangerous. And that's Death Rain saying, hey, come in range 1. Let me shoot you with one of my things. If not, I'm going to give you some ions.
Darzun2141, thank you for the follow.
That's a daring prediction. That's Charles for you.
Should take me to Vegas. I never lose with that prediction.
Exactly. Hey, as long as it's your money, I'll spend your money all night long at Vegas if you want.
Oh, we may have that opportunity in January, so.
That is true. Las Vegas Open actually happening this year. Very excited. Nice to see the world start to go back to normal. Happy that that vaccine has finally been actually working to the point where we can have in-person stuff again. Was not happy when we had to close everything down, but I don't like seeing dead people, so.
Have you ever seen the oh, what was that stupid movie called? Damn
Oh,
it.
don't ask me if I've seen Sixth Sense. Come on. Everybody's seen that damn movie. Everybody.
Not as much as Drew Barrymore.
Maybe not.
She watched it every night in 50 First Dates.
That's true. I haven't seen that movie in forever. Oh, Poe. Poe. And he's got the stress too, doesn't he, still?
Yeah, buddy.
Can he perform actions while stressed?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's got that R4, so he's not stressed. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that. That clears the stress.
Look at that. Like a champ.
There you go. Get that range 1 in there.
Alexa54A, thank you for the follow. We appreciate you.
Well, Lone Wolf will 100% be active. Don't need it, though. Don't need it. Don't need it. Come on. Now, what do we get out of Death Rain? Ah, just 2 shields. I was hoping that we see a crit go through there. You know what they don't have? They don't have crits that affect bombs or anything like that. Wouldn't that be fun? Like, here's a crit that says, oh, you get to, if you drop or launch a bomb, that would be fun. Or a bomb or a missile or something like that.
Like munitions failure or something like that.
Yeah.
If you try to, if you attack with a secondary weapon or drop a device, you take an additional damage or something.
Yeah, that would be a fun crit card. I mean, it would be a dick crit card. Nobody wants that. Everybody's probably saying, don't tell anybody. Don't do that, crits. We don't want those things.
I don't think anybody wants a crit.
But I think it would be a cool addition to the game. Yeah, and then give me Kylo and let me make it a card that I could pull out with Kylo too. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Use with I'll show you the dark side.
Yes.
You are an evil human being, sir.
All right. Death Rain, what you doing? You gonna drop a bomb?
I was behind you for Spirit Obi-Wan.
Spirit Obi-Wan, no problem. Chris wants
extra crits in the damage deck. That's a hard pass.
Yeah, no, you were okay with it until I said Kylo. Once I said Kylo, you're like, no way.
I mean,
all right, drop it 2 thermals
with Merrick Steel.
It does, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that's true. Ooh, and I play Merrick Steel all the time, so. Or give me some. What if we had faction specific crits, right? Ones that you added into the deck based on what faction you're playing. Oh man, that'd be a fun idea too.
The game's hard enough to keep track of already to not have to pay attention to what crits you do and don't have in your damage deck.
Oh man, come on. It'd be fun.
Stop trying to make it Destiny.
Come on, it'd be fun. In Destiny, you didn't have that type of thing.
Well, it's because Destiny wasn't around long enough to make weird rulings.
No, they had weird rulings, just not anything. Like, you didn't have sideboards. That's essentially like a sideboard. So they said 1.0 had something like that.
No.
I don't know how to say the guy's name. Buff Alufacus. And you're right. It would be some of that stuff would be a blank for ships, but I think at the same token, I think that that would be pretty cool. You could do it where it has either or, right? You know, boost and then yeah, look at that barrel roll, man. That Poverdrive barrel roll, I'll tell you.
That overdrive barrel roll.
Overdrive. We call it Poverdrive. I've only ever seen anybody run it on Po. I have never once seen that run on anybody else. So what do we see? Death Rain do his 4K and take his disarm token to reload his thermals.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
well, no, I think he just runs. I don't think he gets aggressive. I think you play smart here. Make Poe chase you down. Poe needs all of Whisper or half of both of them to even have a chance.
Yeah, I think those rocks are really cluttering up that Poe maneuvers right there.
Yep. And Poe's only what, one away from half?
Yeah, that is true. Poe's one away from half.
So he has to be uber careful because if he takes one more damage, then win condition becomes tabling the other side. You have to completely wipe the other squad.
Yeah, we got 13 minutes left. I don't know if we'll see that or not. I would say I don't know. I still like the Punisher 4K reload action. You know, I don't know. It's or do you drop your seismic here?
And try and catch one of those rocks and catch Poe slipping.
Yeah, I doubt it though. Yeah, see, Poe's not going to do that because he's just going to barrel roll to the right. So I wouldn't bother.
Oh yeah, you're right, Riku. I apologize. You are correct.
1.0 Boba Fett could remove upgrade cards. Is that seriously true?
No, absolutely. I believe it was. I believe it was Boba. I believe it was Boba Crew.
Oh my god, that is an awful card. Nobody. There you go. That's a Destiny thing because in Destiny you could like spend your cards to remove other people's cards. You know how like okay, like there's this one card that villains had that it's a 0 cost and you just take indirect damage based on the cost of whatever that support is, right? So if you're full health, you play that card, indirect damage can go on any of your characters. You got 3 characters, each take 1. If they have shields, they take shields. It was insane. And so like this 0 cost card essentially could eliminate a big support. So it costs 4 resources to play this big support. Boom, I'm going to remove it. And you're like, oh, you just took 4 damage when my average output is 3 to 5 per dice roll.
So 1.0 Boba was after performing an attack, if the defender was dealt a face-up damage card, you may discard Boba Fett, which is the equivalent of spending a charge in 2.0, and discard one of the defender's upgrade cards.
Yep. That's crazy. I don't like that at all. I don't like those things. Yep, he took his disarm. He did drop that seismic, you know. Whisper just gonna go ahead. Whisper forgot their evade. There you go. You're probably pretty safe. I don't know. I would be barrel rolling if it were me. Or, oh, there you go. I guess you could just cloak. So I have a question. Can you choose any rock for seismic?
It's got to be at range 0-1.
Okay.
Of the bomb, but you can blow up a rock, you can blow up a debris, and you can blow up a cloud.
So then we're pretty safe then, right? I mean, I don't think. Man, I love Poverdrive. Just love that. All right, so there you go. So somebody designed that for winning worlds. There you go. That's different. All right, Poe's getting a range 3 shot. 1 crit. Bend your Lone Wolf. Get your reroll. And there you go. Hit crit. Probably not going to do too much to Whisper. I think Whisper gets the max dice here. No, only 5. And no problem. Whisper says, no, not today. What's half a Whisper? 75, so 76. So what's that? 35, 33? And still doesn't bring Iceland back into the game yet. And it just feels like you're going to almost have to take Death Rain down, doesn't it? And if you do...
But you've got to do it without taking damage.
Yep. So Death Rain has 65 points. So that's 110 plus... Yep, so you taking Death Rain out or having each of them, right? Would that do it? So if we have each of them, half of 65 is 33, which puts them at 80 points. And then another, yep, he could half them both. He still's got 8 minutes, and Poe can move pretty fast. My guess is we see Whisper decloak to the right. That would be my guess. But do we see, Poe just do a 3 or 4 forward? And I guess you don't get to clear your stress, but...
I don't know. I think you just do the 2 so you can.
Oh, he Whispered he cloaked left. All right. Discern token again. Is he just putting Whisper in there to bait him? Is that what this is? I'm going to bait you with Whisper?
Probably.
I mean, because there's that 2 bank. You're going to do a 2 bank with Poe, right? Open your wings. Nope. Doing a 3. Oh, that's right, because of the Pover drive. He's got all those weird things. 0 dice blinded pilot. No, thank you. That would be awful. Is he doing a slam action? Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, getting a slam action in. Why did he take a focus? Is there a reason he took a focus too? Oh,
I took the ion.
Yep, because he took the ion instead. Look at that. Don't see that trigger very often.
So range 1 shot onto Whisper.
Oh, that's a feel bad. That's a feel bad right there. All that work for nothing. Where's your heroic when you need it now?
Heroic.
Can he not fit 2 points? He could have put heroic on 2, couldn't he have?
Yeah, he's got like a 15-point deficit.
Oh man, that is a feel bad. Oh, that could have been an easily damaged Whisper right there.
So here's an
we know where Poe's going.
Interesting list idea. Run Amonazamine in the fire spray. Escape craft with tactical officer, and then IGC. Put Juke on IGC and on Amonazamine, and then run the IG crew on both of them so they share abilities. So if you boost, you get a free evade action, which fuels both of the jukes.
Hmm. That would definitely be interesting.
And you could even fit Han Gunner in there if you wanted to.
Man, this Whisper don't want to die. And that is the only crappy thing about that Black 1 title is you get to take the Ion.
Yeah, and it stay. Well, he gets to. Well, I mean, you get to be hyper crazy maneuverable for the return on like blowing up your engines.
Dropping 2 thermals. There you go, Whisper. No, don't you can't hit the debris there, Whisper. Get your free evade. So do we see Whisper turn in and shoot this round? Probably.
Yeah, more than likely. Because you know where Poe's going to be. So
Yep, and he's got those ions and those advanced. Advanced are not going to trigger, but that ion probably will. No, that advance might actually trigger now. Maybe he is close enough because he's on that angle. You don't need the stretch. You already have. You already have. Okay. Already had a target lock, but that's okay. Yep. Whisper takes his barrel roll.
yeah, this is the Poe's last stand. It's like the
Maybe.
Battle of Little Bighorn.
We'll see. Whisper does not have the only has the force though. So all right.
Death Rain, range 1, bullseye. You need
That is a nice
two.
that is a nice shot. Use your lone wolf. Nope.
He
Just saying
needs two
out.
for half. I think he forgot about Lone Wolf. I would have.
Oh
Well,
no.
maybe save it for the reroll.
Yep.
That's half on Death Rain.
So as long as he can live, right? And he's just got to get half on Whisper.
And not
Is
take a damage here.
it's only 13 points now. So yeah, not take a damage. That's true. You're right. Yep, you're right. There's only a minute 38 left, so we'll see. Oh, Whisper. Mm. Well, he's taking a crit. There you go. There is that.
And that'll end it. Probably.
One evade.
So he's taking crit. Is that a fuel leak and damage sensor array?
Damage sensor array. That's not good. And yep, it's a fuel leak. Yep. Yep. We have to probably say goodbye to Poe. Goodbye, Poe. It was nice knowing you. It's all that blank out too. I'll tell you what, that blank out. The head taking half on Whisper. Forehead taking Whisper off the board. It'd be a different game. And of course, hit crit or hit crit.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for
Bend your
that horse, I
focus.
wouldn't have spent that year in college. So
Takes your damage. I think it triggers fuel leak, doesn't it?
fuel leaks are crit only. Hull breach is when hits are crits.
I gotcha. Well, looks like they're gonna play out one more round. Your death rain here, you just dump your bombs, right? Yeah, did he not shoot APTs there, Charles? He did not, did he?
He did not.
That's actually surprising. I wonder if he forgot.
Oh, Death Rain, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because yeah, he is at range 1. That would have been
I think we are done. Are we going one more? They're going one more round. Okay.
yeah. I got 0 on my clock, but I can't see theirs, so maybe I started mine a little early.
I think they already had dial set. I think they're just chit chatting or seeing if there's even a point. If Poe has a maneuver or something that he can get out of, because I think we see Death Rain drop 2 bombs.
Yeah, because I think there is a maneuver for Poe, but I don't know. He's got to go one of the 2 ways. It's going to be an unmodded shot. You know,
Was it a range 2 shot for
I don't know. You have the chat, man. I don't have
Yep,
the
give me a
chat.
second. Let me look. Oh yeah, Death Rain had range 2 on Poe, so that's why he didn't fire
Okay,
the
APT.
APT. Yep.
Then he's got an ion. There
Thank
you
you,
go.
Apostas.
Yep, there you go. I mean, if he took that ion, right? So
Oh, we shot him with an ion torpedo. Yeah.
yep.
So see a K turn out of Whisper, maybe a K turn out of Death Rain. Poe goes 1 straight.
Or do you just run because it's the last thing in the game?
Isn't he ioned?
Well, Poe can't run. I thought Poe was ion. Yes,
Yeah, but
but
if Poe's ion, why run? Do your K turn, drop some bombs, do your K turn, and then
well, Death Rain can't do a K turn because he's stressed. So
okay, well do a 3 bank then.
there you go. Somehow I think one of those bombs disappeared.
It's there, but it's weird.
I don't see it. It is gone to me.
Oh, he blocks the. Is he going to barrel roll? Nope.
But did he not take the reinforce or the ion?
How
I
much
don't know. I'm
damage did that
super
do?
confused.
1 crit, 2 hits. He rolled 1 eye, spent it. He should have an ion.
That's what I thought.
Well, we can't interact. We are just innocent bystanders.
All right. I guess he did not have an ion token. There you go. No ion. Oh, only 1 hit went through because of that.
Ow. Oh, no?
Yeah, because he shook a 1 down. All right, Poe into Whisper for the money. Gets
He
his
rolled
reroll.
3
1
dice.
crit.
I don't know.
Here you go. Here you go, Charles. Is Whisper 4 dice Whisper with a force? Nope. Nothing. All right.
I think he only dropped 1. I think he only dropped 1. I think he only dropped 1 to the back. Because he's still.
Because there is nothing there for it. So all right, so Poe, you had some bad dice. Could have ghosted Whisper there. Could have ghosted Whisper. Did not. No return shots into the game. We had a pretty good game there. We had New Zealand taking it out 144 to Iceland's 90. Would have been a little closer if those red dice had held up, but hey, it is the dice sometimes. Sometimes it's when you lose. Sometimes it's when you lose the that Ray there in that engagement. That hurt. Not getting Ray to hit a little bit harder when she
X-Wing
needed
is
it
a
to.
game of positioning, sir.
Yep. Well, all right. Awesome game today. Seems like it was a pretty good game. We have another game tonight between Lithuania and who else do we have? We have Lithuania and Peru. That will be at 12 tonight. Oh, the screen is frozen. Oh, that's sad. I apologize, everyone. The screen was frozen. With that being said, though, thank you all. Basically, he did the 3 maneuver. He rolled the dice, got 1 crit, and Whisper was able to get 2 evades out of that. So there you have it. That's the end of the game. 90 to 144. Neither shot had to go back into Poe, and we are at the end. Join us later tonight for another amazing game. If you're still with us, I think we're going to go raid. I don't know. Who do you want to raid? We're going to raid.
I don't think anybody's up right now.
Yeah, I got 3 people. X-Wing, Schwartz. I think Schwitz. We're going to raid them. So thank you all.
Good.
Be back tonight at midnight if you want to watch us, or 400 UTC if you want to watch another game.